Okay, I didn't have anything planned for today, but I figured since my wife worked today, I might as well do some work today. So, um, with that out of the way, I'm going to talk about what I think is next for Analog as a company after the Analog 3D starts shipping. So we're just going to talk about today. It's basically just like a shoot the shit kind of video. I'm just going to talk about some stuff and then we'll call it a day for today. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sit back, relax, and roll with me as we talk about Analog's future when it comes to like retro consoles, I guess. So, if you guys aren't familiar with Analog as a company, they've done systems such as an NES, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, etc. Their most popular system was by far the Analog Pocket, which was an all in one Game Boy system that played Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance cartridges. But the biggest selling point of that console and why that thing continues to sell out, the white one is currently sold out, and the black one you can still get. All the colored variations, the glow in the dark one, all those are sold out. And you can also buy a dock and some other accessories for it. But anyway, the reason why it sold out so quickly was because of the fact that it had open FPGA, which in a nutshell basically it allowed you to put, I don't want to say emulators, but that's basically what it is. Cores for like NES, Super Nintendo, all the Game Boys, Game Gear, just a bunch of systems, arcade stuff, even Tiger Electronic stuff can be played on there if you know how to do it. Which I have not looked into that because for me to play Tiger Electronic games, like I want to play the authentic things. The emulation's still pretty good for the Tiger stuff, but I just prefer the real thing. But anyway, that's what sold the Analog Pocket was the open FPGA and just all the other stuff it could do. And plus, it's an all around pretty cool system. I have the glow in the dark one. Shout out to my wife for that because she bought me that one. I've had two other ones, so I've had a total of three, but I've sold both of those. One to a friend and one to another friend's business. Shout out to RK Legacy and Jesse. So shout out to you. I know it's sold a while ago, so glad someone got it that wanted it. But anyway, so the Pocket was what really put them on the map. Everyone knew who they were because apparently they did like Neo Geo controllers or like arcade sticks or something, which I didn't even know until I watched the CU podcast of Pat and Ian talking about the 3D. I didn't know they had their origins as like Neo Geo stuff. So or Neo Geo reproduction stuff. I don't know what it was. They didn't really go into detail about it. I didn't know that. The only thing when I found out about Analog was when the NT Noir came out, their first Nintendo console that did have issues, and that's why they remade it and uh, into a version 2 model that had a better cartridge slot and a couple other fixes, I think. So that's where I found out about them. And then they did the Super NT, the Mega SG, and I was like, okay, I need to get those because I have a lot of Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis stuff. Which, spoiler, I actually have the Super Nintendo hooked up currently right now to my HDMI multi-out thing. So I still do play the Super NT a lot. I don't use cartridges as much because most of them are still down in the basement, but I still do have some cartridges. Here's a Mega Man X3 with a case. Just to prove to you guys, I do still have cartridges. Um, Here's Mega Man X3. Probably going to sell the Mega Man X games because I really don't have too much affiliation and memories with them, but I bought them um, back when I really wanted to play Mega Man X games, but now since I have them on the Mega Man X collection on Switch, it's kind of redundant for me to have them on the original console or original I should say, because I don't have my original Super Nintendo, NES, or Mega Drive or Genesis, because they're so good at basically reproducing one to one what the original consoles do. I didn't feel the need to keep either of the consoles. The only one that still has a minor issue is the NT Noir with one game, but besides that, it's pretty much flawless and it's fine. So with that all out of the way, with my origins of Analog and why I like them, I still have issues with the company, and I'll get to that at the end of the video. Things I wish it would do differently. But with the Analog 3D finally getting released, I almost in the Analog Pocket, but I caught myself with I'm an idiot. With the Analog 3D coming out in the next few months, next 3 4 months, hopefully. Um, May at most 6 months, but I'm thinking January or February is when they're gonna start shipping these. At latest March. The only reason I'm thinking more March confirmed is because that's when the 8-bit Do controllers are going to be shipping. I think it's like March 19th or something like that. That the 8-bit Do analog 3D controllers start shipping, which honestly, they look fine, but the fact that they don't have a memory pack slot or a transfer pack slot is really annoying to me. Like, what if you want to use them on original hardware? Does that mean like you have to just keep your original controllers? Because if they, my thought process was the same thing. If the Analog 3D does well with like playing the N64 games with no issues and stuff, then why do I need my original N64? Well, I'll at least need to keep at least one controller around so I can use my original memory cards and transfer them to an SD card or whatever. However that works, I'm assuming you can do that somehow, some way. It kind of alludes to that in the support thing, but it doesn't really say how it works. But I assume you can somehow. At any rate, I backed them up anyway. Good thing I did because the one memory card I found uh, downstairs yesterday, none of the pages or page numbers work. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're all um not working. The only one that still works is the original one I bought like a while ago, and then the third party one that has like 16 different um memory cards built into it. It's actually or like 14, something like that. It has a lot. But anyway, so I'll have to keep at least one original controller in case I want to use like a transfer pack or whatever with like Pokemon Stadium or something like that. But in any case, if it performs well and does what it's supposed to do, I don't need my original console anymore. So after we'll say a year or two after the 3D comes out, what else are they going to do? What's next for Analog? Are they going to do what they've been doing with the Pocket and releasing multiple different colors like a Fantastic line? I have no idea. I'm hoping that's what they do because honestly, I want a jungle green like Analog 3D or N64. I would love for that to happen. If it does, will I try to get one? Yes. But if it doesn't, will I be okay with the white one I got? Shout out to my dad for that, by the way. Um, will I be okay with that? Yeah, but I would really love to have like a Analog 3D that's modeled after a jungle green. Of course, they're not going to call it jungle green. They're going to call it like transparent green or something stupid like that. They probably can't legally call it like jungle green or whatever. And by the same vein, will 8-bit Do release like transparent green analog 3D controllers? Probably, because I think Retro Fighters did that with the Brawler 64. I believe they did that. I want to say yes, but I never really bought one, but I think they did. So like, it's possible. But after that, if they do that, what's next for that? Because after they do a fantastic line, what else can they do? That's the big question. That's on my mind, and maybe other people mind. I have no idea. What else are they gonna do? Are they gonna do like an all-in-one Sega console, kind of like that weird Super Sega thing by that group of people that from like um one of the European countries. I think like Switzerland. I don't remember what the hell country they're from, but they're working on this. To give you a brief explanation of what I'm talking about, they're working on a thing called the Super Sega. It's supposedly supposed to play every conceivable Sega console from like the Master System all the way to the Dreamcast through FPGA. Whether or not it actually happens through that company remains to be seen. I don't think it will, just by how they're going about releasing the thing and like funding the project. The way they're doing it is very sketchy and weird. And I know for a fact I'm not giving them €3 to get the special pre-order price of 375 to €350. So like they can kiss my ass with that because that's not happening. You guys aren't analog. You guys haven't built your name on releasing consoles that actually do what they promise they do. But I do have issues with analog, which I'll get back to in a second. But anyway, could analog beat them to the punch and be working on their own, like Ultra SG or something like that, where it supports Sega CD, Sega Saturn, Sega 32X, um, and Sega Dreamcast, and like all the SG 1000, Mark III, all that crap. Game Gear. I don't think they'll do a Game Gear select because there's already adapters that work with the Mega SG that support all the like Game Gear SG 1000. So they'll probably just reprint those or whatever if they do an Ultra SG or something. That would be really cool because the Turbo Duo or the Analog Duo that I have plays CD based PC Engine and Turbo CD games. So they obviously can FPGA console a CD based console. Now, will they do it with the Sega Genesis CD 32X, all that stuff that I mentioned? Probably not, but I really wish they would because I honestly hate having a Sega CD laying around because I know eventually that thing's gonna break down, the fuse is gonna break, or the laser's gonna die, or something like that, and then I'll just have a giant paperweight in a box because I actually have a complete box, Sega CD Model 2 upstairs, uh, in the room in the box. So yeah, like that can happen, and the fuse blowing is like a common thing with Sega CDs, especially Model 2s. So a modernized Sega CD would be nice from a reputable company like Analog. I'm not knocking these dudes working on this Super Sega, but you can't you can't expect people to be like, oh my god, an all-in-one Sega console, it's gonna be awesome, when you really don't have any like good faith behind your name. So like I'm not backing this project with the Super Sega, but if Analog did their own Mega SG like version 2 or whatever the hell they call it, I would be all in on that for sure. But after that, could they do if they do that, could they re-release all their past consoles that have sold out like the Mega SG, the Super NT, the NT Noir, all that stuff? Could they redo those? Possibly. Could they move on to the Sony PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2? God, I hope so. That would be amazing to have like an FPGA or like an HD, like 4K a compatible like resolution PS1, PS2 without having to have all these different like HDMI cables or like retro tanks or whatever you need to buy to make it look decent on like a 4K TV for like PS1 and PS2. Because that's the thing that annoys me about playing PS1 and PS2 games is that like I have to use like either my level height cable or my Kaiko cables that I have or the Hyperkin cables I have too. I have like three different. I have three different kinds of cables to play um, PS1 and 2 games. I think the Hyperkin cables are best because they have a mode for PS1 and PS2 games. So that's the ones I usually go with. But I would love to have just like an all-in-one thing, just plug in, and it would just work with anything, all region free thing. That would be amazing. And yes, I know there's options out there to like free McBoot and shit like that, but I like using my physical disc. God damn it! I know people like emulation and shit like that, which that's fine. I love emulation too. It's definitely easier and convenient and more convenient. But I do like pulling a game off a shelf, popping it in to a console, or putting it in a disc tray and playing it legitimately. I enjoy that. And I know there's a lot of people out there that do. Now, am I saying that it's likely they're going to do a PlayStation 1 or 2? Probably not. To be real with you, I doubt it. I don't know how well like FPGA has come with emulating PS1 and PS2. That would be awesome though, but I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments what you guys think Analogue's future is. But to end this video off, for the love of God, if anyone at Analogue sees this video, please, you need to change the way you release these consoles. I don't mind the pre-order aspect of it, but if it's a pre-order, don't make us pay the money up front right away for a pre-order. If you want to do a pre-order thing, make us put down like a $50 minimum or something. Something like that. Or at the very least, when it's ready to ship, then you release this damn thing. You release like a first batch, a second batch, a third batch. Kind of like you did with the Pocket because of the pandemic, but it kind of worked out because it let people know when to expect to get it. And I didn't enjoy that, but like at least it was something. Like at least it gave us a window of time when to get our console, which I think I was in like group C or B or something like that, which means I didn't get mine until like middle of the year. So I was impatient, bought a black one on eBay, and then when I got my white one, I sold the black one to a friend of mine. So, which shout out to my friend Mike. He's the one I sold it to. Um, but yeah, when I got the glow in the dark one, I sold the white one to RK Legacy, owned by my buddy Jesse. So yeah, I felt like I said I had three pockets. So yeah, but that being said, like please just start releasing your console orders, not pre-orders. Let us order them and then like ship them in like a month. I'll give you guys like a month leeway. That would be fine. Not no 3, 4, or 5 months. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry to pay $300 up front for a pre-order that I'm not going to get for like 3 or 4 months. That's ridiculous to me. Same thing with limited run games. They do the same bullshit, which is annoying. And I mentioned that in a past video as well. So that's really the only issue I have with them. Like they're getting better with like being open and honest about how they do things and like when stuff ships and stuff like that. But like, come on, give us a little bit of something here. Like, let it be like I said, and that would be more people wouldn't be as skeptical to buy one right out the gate. That's why my friend Mike didn't buy one, because he actually has a complete library of N64 games. So I was like, hey, this is perfect for Mike. But he's like, yeah, I would buy one, but I don't want to wait. I don't want to sit on it on $300 for like 4 or 5 months. I'm like, okay, you do you. But me, I want to get one pre-ordered or ordered, I guess. So I get one when it first starts shipping out, which I can't wait for. Now, do I have a lot of N64 games to like run the gambit and test the console? No, I have like probably 30 or 40 maybe games, maybe 25 ish games on N64. So I have nowhere near the complete library. Maybe I can have my friend Mike borrow it and like just test every game, because I know he has them all. But yeah, that'd be kind of cool if I was like one of the first people to like have the console tested with like every game that had expansion pack support, stuff like that. I'll talk to him about that tomorrow, because I'm going to the flea market tomorrow, and he has a booth up there, so I'll chat with him about that, see if he would be willing to like help me test that when I get it, because I know people are gonna test that as soon as they get it, which they've stated that it's gonna be 100% compatible, but that remains to be seen. I am skeptical about that right out the box, but we'll see. Um, I'm super pumped about this. Let me know what you guys think. Leave your comments below about what you think the future is for Analog. And hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. This has been Rolling with Kevin, and I am rolling out. Peace. And I just realized I'm wearing the same shirt I've worn like past 2 videos. This is the only shirt I have up here. So, sorry guys. You'll just have to deal with it. Anyway, peace. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, click the bell button for all notifications so you get notified when I upload new videos, go live, post on the community page, all that good stuff. Shout outs to all my Patreon supporters: Matt Y99, Reaper7734, Titled Cal, AJ Gadawa, Oliver Frederick, Zual Atfi, It's Me, Charlize, Joe, William Swift, Jeff 17, Charlie McKeon, Reverse Security, Zoo Hall, Preliam, Just Drew, Ari Munson, HHG Fan, George McConnell, Elliot Scott, Benjamin Tellen, Magdalene Massaro, Vic Gomez, Freddie Ladd, Lee Fernay, and TJ Johnson. And I almost forgot about my newest one, Simon Lim Rossman. If I pronounced it wrong, I apologize, but thank you all for supporting me. It really does help out the channel a lot. Thank you to everyone whose name was scrolling across the screen for this screen. Thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to also follow me on Facebook and X as well if you want updates on what I'm doing, what I'm working on. If you want updates on when I upload videos, X is the best place to go for that, because I always tweet out when I do new videos. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I am rolling out.